Yeah, blessing sports trackers. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome to all those returning viewers and subscribers, and welcome to all those persons who are joining us for the very first time here on Sports Trackers. Today I want to have a little discussion with you fans about, something that I would have observed in the media in recent times. I realize, Sports Trackers, that, some fans take sports a bit too personal. I realize that there are fans, sports fans, athletic fans, that really, get offended too easily, or they tend to think that, once you don't share the same sentiments as them, it means then that you are expressing hatred towards their favorite athlete or team. And that is what I really want to look into. I would have seen some comments on social media in recent times where fans, they have been at each other over some issues that I consider to be very simplistic issues. Issues that I don't think should garner that type of negative energy. Why is it that whenever you scrutinize a particular athlete or a particular performance by an athlete, there are those who are ready to launch a strong verbal attack on you for expressing your opinions? Why is it that each time an athlete performs below expectation, and us as content makers are just people on social media in general would have expressed their dissatisfaction with the performances, then there are always fans or so-called fans waiting to really attack these persons for expressing their opinions. What I realize is that once you express your dissatisfaction with a particular athlete or performance or decision, then you are perceived as being the enemy. You are perceived as hating that particular athlete. Some people even go as far as to say that you are supporting the athlete's competitor. I find it very strange that people are no longer free to express themselves, free to express their opinions without being attacked. I have seen it over and over in recent times on social media, and I find it very strange. I believe that we have lost our way where sports is concerned. Sports is supposed to be that element that creates unity among people, that create positive relationships and bond us together. However, what I see happening in recent times is that sports has become a wedge. It has become a wedge between individuals. It has become a wedge between nations. The recently concluded Carifta games comes to mind, where I saw where it was like Carifta was like a competition between Jamaica and the Bahamas. Unfortunately, there were some outstanding performances that I think would have gone unnoticed because of the rift between Jamaica and Bahamas. And this is very sad because we are talking about a games that is held in the Caribbean, among Caribbean nations, for the development of Caribbean athletes. But yet what it proved to be is a war of words between Jamaica and Bahamas. And so we would have forgotten the outstanding performances, and we made it about ourselves. We made it about two countries. And unfortunately, the other countries, their participations would have been nullified. I think it is sad that we cannot discuss sports without getting personal. I think it is very sad that we can't discuss sports without being disrespectful. And I'm going to mention a particular athlete and some comments that I see circulating. I'm talking about Elaine Thompson Hera. Elaine Thompson Hera is the fastest woman in the world. She has set the bar very high. And once she performs in what some people deem to be below her expectations, below her standards, then naturally the criticisms are going to come. Once you're an athlete, you subject yourself to criticism. That is just it. Once you're in public life, athletes, politicians, they subject themselves to criticisms. And I don't think once you're not bashing the athlete, once you're not saying anything negative, I believe that the criticisms are justified. But some people take it personal, and I don't understand why. And I just want to point out some amount of hypocrisy in the persons that attack persons who says that Elaine Thompson Hera should not have changed her coach. When you identify a good athlete at the junior level, coming out of primary school, right? You identify a good male athlete. Most of us as parents are people who are associated with these young athletes. We immediately start to say that, okay, send this young man to Calabar or send him to KC or send him to Jamaica College, because we identify these schools as schools that are doing well, and in terms of the coaching that is offered there. So we want them to get the best coaching. We identify a good female athlete, a young athlete coming out of primary school, and we say, send her to Edwin Allen or send her to Ormwood or send her to Idel or any one of those female schools, St. Jago, Wolmer's, that is doing well. Because we want them, we recognize that these schools are doing well in terms of the coaching and the athletes that they are producing. And we want these athletes to do well. So we want them to be in the best programs, right? Likewise, we look around and we see that, a school like Lacovia may be doing well in 400 meters. In recent times, they have turned out people like Shanna Marie Staple, Roshika Byfield, and now there is Sabrina Dockery doing very well. So if we identify a good 400 meter runner coming out of the primary school system, we might say send them to Lacovia, or we might say send them to Ferncourt, because we realize that Ferncourt is doing excellently where 400 meter running is concerned. You understand? So we always want our runners to get the best coaching. So we send them to the institutions where we recognize that these persons are doing well in terms of coaching. So the hypocrisy is for us to ignore the fact that Elaine Thompson Hera was seemingly doing better at MVP than she is doing right now with her current coach. So when persons say that they do not think that Elaine Thompson should have changed, should have moved from MVP, I don't think it is fair to attack these persons for their opinions. You understand? I personally would not say she should not have moved. What I would say is that, the move seemed to be affecting her performances, and that is fair. When you consider that she ran 10.54 while at MVP and has not been able to go back near to that performance since she left, I think it is a fair assessment to say that, this move seems to be affecting her. Now, where I am concerned, I understand that it is a personal decision and there may have been things that we do not know about. So I would not say she needs to go back. It is her decision, right? But I think I am entitled to say that her decision seems to be affecting her performance. And I think that is fair. So for persons to really lash out, or to think that you don't like the athlete, you are attacking the athlete for expressing your opinion, it is beyond me. I find it very weird, and I think we can be more respectful towards each other as sports fans. Another thing that I have a huge problem with is some fans telling other fans that they have no right at offering criticisms towards athletes when they themselves would have not competed as an athlete before, is not involved as with athletics or sports as a coach or a manager. I believe there is no merit to that type of argument, because I believe that there are very good sports analysts right now, locally and internationally, that would have never set foot on a field. They have never run before, they have never played any sports, but they are excellent sports analysts. So I believe that everybody is entitled to an opinion where sports is concerned. Think about this. Think about the young man or young woman, the sports fan that would have been confined to a wheelchair from birth, right? Or from the early stages of his or her life, and would have taken an interest in sports and study sports to the point where they understand enough, they become a fan of an athlete or a team. They probably understand sports better than the athlete that is out there performing. Because they have the time, or they would have probably done some research, to know that when coach gives the athlete a 300 meters to run or a 250, then coach is probably working on speed endurance. Because most coaches, when they're coaching, they say, okay, you have two 300s to run today, or you have 5 300s to run today, and they do not really take the time to say you are doing speed endurance training. You understand? So you as the athlete, you run those 300s blindly without even know what you are doing to your body, what type of training you are taking on. But the person that is confined to the wheelchair, chances are that this person understands sports more than you as an athlete. And consequently, that person is in a better position to offer criticisms or express their opinion than an athlete. So I do not subscribe to the view that only athletes and coaches and managers and persons that are directly involved in sports should have a say or should be able to express their opinions and criticisms where athletics or sports in general is concerned. So that is my take on the whole issue of sports trackers. Please leave a comment and let me know what you think on this particular issue.